And they re-entered the dining room, and so Kyle had created another uncomfortable conflict to take back to the dinner table. It just seems all fabricated to me. I did feel bad for Sutton because Sutton looked truly shocked. And I think she's one of the women on the show that actually, she's just being herself. Whether you like her or don't like her, she's just being Sutton. So you can't really fault somebody for that.
I
In
mean,
life, people have the power to stay away from people they don't like, right? So stop complaining. Don't use your energy. Sutton is who she is.
right. Like, I think it's authentic when, she's upset that she has this global, powerful ex and, she now has to get more child support a month. I understand, but like, it's really her ish. Like, she really is afraid.
Well, it did touch on money in that moment. Kyle seems to have a very big hangup, and I saw this in season 1 with Camille, with anyone that has more than her. So when she threw the money issue into Sutton's face, like, oh, boo-hoo, you're going to get more child support. It's like, okay, are you not picking up on the underlying tone of that Sutton may still have feelings for her ex and doesn't want him going to England? She doesn't want to go herself, but it seemed like she didn't want him to go either. She still needed him on some level. I think that's a very real thing. They're both parents to a child. So Kyle with Camille, and I still think Camille's house was way more fabulous than the house they had this episode. And, but when it came to Camille, she seemed to have a big chip on her shoulder that Camille was married to Kelsey Grammer, who is an A-list actor, and that B, Camille had everything Kyle wanted. Now, Kyle's had 13 years to get it, but the wound was there of being the person trying to play the Beverly Hills game that didn't have that much money back then. So she still has that chip on her shoulder, it seemed, with Sutton when it came to the money, because that wouldn't have been where my head would have gone. if somebody was telling me what's going on with them, I would have been like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do? Are you still trying to work things out? Does he know you care about him? Still, how does your son feel about this? I believe it was a son. I'm not sure, but how does your child feel about their dad moving, to another country? So none of that came out. It was, oh, you're getting more child support. Boo-hoo. What is her head made of? Like, it's just, she's got a lot of wounds.
Yes, and Sutton does have more money than Kyle, that I can tell you.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know who any of these women are. I'm going to take your word for that. So good. I mean, good for her, but as you watch this unfold, you'll notice that if you want to get a reaction from Kyle that's real, throw a richer woman in front of her.
and I thought also that Sutton was trying to protect Kyle, because then when they went back to the dinner table and Annemarie was like, well, I don't understand what any of you are saying. I feel that like Sutton was trying to say to me, that was like we don't bring this up on camera.
Right,
Like,
right,
you're pushing me. We all know what the rumors are. I'm
right.
actually trying, even though she just basically tossed me aside, to
Uh-huh.
try to be a good friend, because this is so deep seated, because we all know it's true. I'm trying not to bring this up on camera because we all know this is going to be a major storyline if I bring it
Mm-hmm.
up on camera. And
Right.
then eventually, right? Because even then, she didn't say marriage. It was Garcelle that said it. So I think Sutton really was trying to be a good friend.
Mm-hmm. And, Kyle's the kind of person that puts the knife in your back and then twists it. And you're right. Sutton wasn't trying to do that, but that was Kyle's intention, was to create chaos at the table and to get a visceral reaction from people that you don't really care about. It is just good ratings for the episode. And it doesn't seem like Kyle cares. I mean, I'm not Kyle. I can't say. It didn't seem like she cared about Sutton. It doesn't seem like she cares about anybody other than what's going on with Kyle and of her children, who are extensions of her. All of our children are extensions of us. So, we tend to favor them. But as far as friendship goes, I would not trust Kyle as far as I could throw her. With her weight loss, it's further these days, but still, I wouldn't trust her. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
I
So,
mean, she kind of set herself up for that one.
yeah. Well, and you've seen them bringing up her marriage. And she gets very incensed when they do that to her, like, how dare you, but she brings up everybody else's dirt and then shares it and spreads it around with everybody else. So she's no one to talk about who should bring up what when.
Right. And she's also, I mean, Garcelle said husband, the marriage. And even then, if you think about it, it's like, because you've worked on many murder cases, it's kind of like when you basically give the person the lead. I mean, when she said, like, my husband, you're implying my husband's cheating on me, or you said my husband, and Sutton's like, when did I say that? So, I mean,
Right.
Sutton is good at this, but
Right.
she really didn't say it. Kyle, you just said it, and now it's on the show. Now, granted,
Mhm.
it probably would have come out on the show anyway, because we all have eyes and we all read these 1,000 headlines every hour. But
But not
Kyle's
out
the
of the
one.
mouth, but not out of the mouth of someone she thought was her friend. And I think
Right,
that's really more what hurt Sutton.
right, right. I mean, Kyle's just, are you shocked all these years later at how people show up for these dinner parties? We have Annemarie in the tulle dress. I don't even know what Erica's wearing. This is like a head to toe pink bodysuit. I mean, these
Yeah.
women, this is a little different than 13 years ago, Allison.
Well,
Like you said,
obviously,
you thought you were going to a pizza party.
I was told it was a girls' night pizza party. And so I just took it at that. I said, do I have to wear anything special? No, just dress casual. It's a girls' night. So that's what I walked into. Tell me things aren't produced. I've seen it firsthand. They are very produced. Something that's changed in the last 13 years, and without getting too philosophical with people, people value money more now than they did 13 years ago, instead of like good character and teaching people to be honest and doing the right thing and empathetic and caring about one another. We see people selling their soul for bank accounts loaded with money because they feel it somehow makes them more relevant. So I think our value systems are thrown off now compared to 13 years ago. And that's why the women show up. They're showing up for self promotion. That's why, not because they're such freaking good friends.
Right. Like Camille likes relevance. So that's why she's there.
Mhm.
Denise, right. Like, I mean, she is relevant. Like you said, maybe it's to kind of jumpstart the career again after Housewives.
I think she did a disservice to herself actually being on this show. I think she's better than that. She wasn't there to help a friend out or because a good friend asked them to be there for her. This was simply because, like, she just signed up for it. And I think she's just better. She was better than that. I don't know what her life is now or um what's bothering her at the core. I just think she had better options. I would have liked to seen her go back to acting and pick up where she left off before Charlie Sheen.
She's dealing her daughter